Again, welcome to Fernandez Ranch. And I'm sorry, I'm going to refer to my notes here, but and this is so you're going to see me do the drinking bird a little bit here. But with that said, we very much appreciate you taking the morning to celebrate this. There really are deep conservation traditions here, ranging from Bernardo and Carlota Fernandez and the Fernandez family history to the legacy of John Muir and many others. And I want to mention, because she's going to come up, that Susie Fernandez is here, who grew up on this property, along with her family, Matt and Russ. So we're going to hear from Susie, but this is all their legacy going back for more than 100 years. So we very much appreciate that. They really are part of that deep conservation tradition, along with the legacy of John Muir and many others who are of this area. And believe it or not, on June 4th in 2010, I spoke to a similar gathering when we first opened the original 702-acre Fernandez Ranch, which is actually what we're sitting on now. The 483 is up over this ridge, and that expansion is what we celebrate today. But going back to 2007, it's really both an honor and a privilege to be able to do so again today, to speak to you in celebration of this property. At that time, my main talking points were about habitat conservation and restoration. We did a major creek restoration and public access to put in the bridge with our construction partners like Jerry Overon, John Volmar, and others that really were instrumental in that. RDG, Drew Getting was out here this morning to get that bridge built and get out over here. And all of those remain a vital concern to John Muir Land Trust and to all of us who work in conservation. I mean, these are the substantive issues for Bob Doyle and Coastal Conservancy and so forth, is to preserve habitat and to get out on property, make sure the public has access. However, today, I'd like to emphasize the human values associated with Fernandez Ranch and how Fernandez Ranch helps remind an ever-increasing number of nearby urban dwellers, and they measure in the hundreds of thousands and millions to our west and east and beyond, how it reminds them to respect and cherish the nature all around us, a fact that is crucial to helping raise children that will care for a world that sustains us all. My own daughter is here this morning, so hopefully we are transferring that. The human values embodied in this land are very much the business of John Muir Land Trust, along with ecosystem preservation. And the values we seek to conserve have a peculiarly American flavor that is worth remembering, especially at a time when Americans are anxious about the role their nation plays in the modern world. And when at least on the surface, we appear to be more deeply divided about core American values than has been the case for a long time. I'd simply point to the troubling loss of bipartisanship that has come to characterize our national political life, vis-a-vis conservation and environmental protection. Most of our greatest conservation achievements throughout modern history, including this one, were passed with overwhelming bipartisan support. Our membership is on all sides of the aisle. They are rigorously supportive of these outcomes, which we very much appreciate. And we all suffer from this change in our politics, and in my view, it's little short of a national disaster for the environment to look as if it is somehow a one-party issue. It's all of us. It is also very far indeed from being an accurate reflection of core American values. All Americans love their land. We're the nation that invented the idea of a national park and the first legally designated wilderness areas in the world, concepts that have since gone on to have enormous influence all across the planet. Although we protect wild places to preserve biological diversity and other conservation values, we should never forget how deeply those values are also tied to our origins as a country. The notion that America is a city upon a hill standing as a beacon for all the world to see, an inspiration for what a community in the service of the common good might accomplish, is deeply embedded in our collective sense of what the nation is and should be. Many of our greatest reform movements, from civil rights to conservation, have been inspired by what has become a vision of social and moral progress. But simply, protecting land like this means protecting some of our most dearly held human values. We protect nature because we love the land and because we are called upon to love one another. We are about communities expressing shared values and working to make sure that the lands they love continue to embody those values for all time to come. At its very best, John Muir, and it has been for 30 years, John Muir Land Trust is about ordinary people protecting the places they love for everyone to enjoy forever. Citizen stewardship. To repeat, land conservation protects nature, but it also protects community and democracy.